Hello, my name is Starla Henderson with Fronterhouse Quilts blog, and we're going to continue working on the Iris Marianne. Today we are going to work on the second layer, the petal number 2. There's really only one to this, and it's a very simple petal to do. Alright, here we go. This petal right here, it's just simple curves and just a few indentions here. The thing you're going to have to look out for is whenever you get down, you're going to have this, but you're really not going to have to worry about that until we get to the next ones, to the next layer. So, you are going to start right here on this side, and you're going to do an outside curve, and it's going to go all the way up here, and then you're going to have this little inside curve here. And I'm just going to do, and this is laying on top of the previous layer. This one's going on top of this one. We're working from the back forward when we do this technique. So I'm going to go ahead and start up here, and we're just going to do this little indentation, the little valley, because that's the only hard part about this. Alright, we're going to start right up here at the top of this because we don't need to go very far. But we've done these valleys before, just like we've done these outside curves. And just remember, as you're going in, you have to clip, and you want to clip right up to the line, not into it, up to it. You clip into it and you're going to make it deeper than you want. I mean, if you do, it's not a huge mistake, but it's not exactly the way it was drawn. Okay. And this one's just going to, looks like it's just going to take one clip. And I'm just going to turn this, and you're going to have to turn a little bit at a time. Take tiny stitches. Now I'm ready to go down into that little valley. When you get to that little valley, you're going to turn the next side, swoop your needle, and then this one is more of an it's not as sharp a point on that valley, but I'm going to go right in where where that center was, and take tiny stitches and start heading back up the other side. And this is the hardest part of this petal. And I think there's 2 of these on the Spring Sampler. There's several of them on the Esther Bunny that I've been working on. This is one of my favorite flowers, and so I've used it in several of my designs, and I'll probably use it again. As you go down the next side, you're going to have another inside curve you're going to have to clip. There's a couple of them here. And you're just going to keep working your way around until you get it all appliqued down. As you're working around, there's this other inside curve you've got to clip right here. And you're just going to keep working your way around until you get it all appliqued down. And they're soft curves. These are not real sharp little valleys or inside curves. They're pretty soft, so they're not very difficult to do. Of course, I already had this basted and ready to go. And just like before, this is going to have a seam allowance that is going to be then covered by another layer. So it's important to always remember to leave plenty in there to be covered. And I've done it before. Thought I had enough, didn't. So I had to redo the whole thing, and that's just frustrating, especially if it's a very difficult shape that you're appliquing down. So you've got, on this side, you've got some seam allowance. It's a little easier, I think, maybe to see it from here, down here. This is what we've worked on. And you've actually got seam allowance right here and right here. So you want to make sure you leave plenty. And when I started my basting, I start inside the layer that's going to cover, and I end inside on the other side, the next layer that will, on that side. That way I know I've got it, but then I cut off at least a 1/4 inch after that. So, and you can pin little pins along your line so that whenever you're cutting on the other side, you know for sure that you have hit your mark, you've not cut it too short. Well, this is Starla Henderson with Fronterhouse Quilts blog, and this is the second layer. There's only one petal in this layer. In fact, the next few layers there's just one petal, I believe, for the Iris Marianne. Thank you for joining me.